Today we're going to be talking about why consoles are obsolete, why are they useless, and why don't we really actually need them. Welcome to Green Lycan Reviews, I'm Lycan, and today we're talking about this because it's something that's been bothering me for a while. It's the way that consoles operate and the way that like every 4 years you get a refresh, every 8 years there's next gen. And realistically speaking, Nintendo is the only company out there that's not being a money grabber. They release a console, they wait a while, and then they release another one. This has been proven by the way they've done it in the past, and they generally don't do refreshes halfway through the life cycle. So why is it that Xbox and PlayStation do refreshes? Why are they being money grabbers by releasing something that's a half-assed update to something we don't really need? The real problem is that the console market itself is saturated by two consoles. Both of these console developers are essentially at war with each other constantly to try to get more sales, but realistically, it's just a money grab that we fall into. This is a situation where if you want to vote, you need to vote with your wallet. When you buy a new Xbox or a new PlayStation, and then 4 years later they release a refresh, which is realistically a half-assed upgrade to the previous console, it's not actually anything new. It might be slightly faster, but realistically, the games that are made for it are made for the original iteration of the console and not for any refresh. Therefore, there's not really going to be much of an increase in performance. And if there is, that just means their first console was crap and it wasn't made to run the games that were made for it. What this means is that you'll pay $500 for a console and then 4 years later buy another console for $500, which has put you back $1,000, and what for? Realistically, you could keep the first console and not really worry about it until next gen comes out. But instead, what people will do is they'll buy the original one for $500, then they'll buy the newer iteration for $500, and then they'll bring out another iteration for $500. And I don't understand why people do it. I own a PlayStation, the slim version, the newer one that came out, and I didn't actually have an up-to-date PlayStation before that because I didn't really have an interest in console stuff. I made a decision to buy the iteration that was released halfway through its release cycle and also wait for games to release on it before I bought it. Unfortunately, there's not many games on it, so that kind of didn't work. But anyway, the point is, it's only cost me $500 to get a console. As just before the Slim came out, the console prices went up and you were nearly paying full price as the release date for the original consoles, which makes no sense. The fact is that you cannot wait 4 years and still charge full price for a console that's 4 years old. So they create a new iteration, a refresh, and we buy that refresh thinking it's better. It might have better storage, it might be a little bit faster, but realistically speaking, it's a waste of money. And if we don't buy these new refreshes, then we're telling the companies we don't agree with this crap. What they should do, on the other hand, is wait 4 years, and if they're going to release a new console, release a next-gen console. Go all out, instead of half-assed. The other big problem with the console battles as they're going on like this is that you'll find that they always release around the same time. What this means is that realistically speaking, you're getting two consoles that are coming out with the same actual hardware, and there's not really a difference between them. Yes, the Xbox is supposed to be more powerful than the PlayStation at the moment, but not by much. Like, there's actually a very small difference between the two, and as we've seen, certain games will perform better on one console than the other, no matter what power it's got in it or what its components are. And now comes the customary like and subscribe section. You should like this video and subscribe to me so you can follow everything I do, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you can keep up to date with what I'm releasing. The PC market tells you exactly how this works. When it comes down to it, components will come out, they'll cost a lot of money. It's price to performance that you're looking at when you buy new components for a PC. You're not looking at the fact, oh, it's a better brand. You're looking at the fact that if it's got better performance than other variants of graphics cards, for example, it's worth paying more for it. And over time, we will upgrade our graphics cards with newer, better ones that perform better. But you're not willing to pay a lot more for something that doesn't perform much better. And this is the thing. Processors, for example, I'm not going to go into detail about these ones specifically, but they released it, its performance was about 10% better, the price was double the price. It didn't make any sense. They lowered the price over time, new processors came out that were actually twice the power and twice the performance, and the price made more sense. This is where we're getting stuck with consoles these days, because you'll buy a console for $500, it's not worth $500, and after 4 years, I wouldn't even pay $50. And the reason why is because PC hardware's come such a long way since the consoles released. They came out in 2020, it's now 2024. We've gone through several different series of graphics cards from Nvidia, for example, and the performance is more than double. What this means is PCs at the moment have more than double the performance of PlayStations and Xboxes, and yet everyone's putting all of their faith in Xbox or PlayStation, saying they're really good, they're just as good as PCs. They're nowhere near it, and they're not going to be, they're never going to be. And why? Well, because obviously consoles released with the best graphics cards at the time, but because of the way the PC market works, a new version of a graphics card could be out the month after the console's release. This makes the consoles immediately obsolete after a month. And this is one of the dangers of getting into PC building and having your own custom PC. You may buy something, then within a couple of weeks, Nvidia or AMD or Intel will announce a new thing they're releasing, which makes the stuff you just put in your PC old and obsolete. Okay, so not completely obsolete in a way that it's useless, but there's still much better performance stuff out there, and you've already built your PC with those components inside it. So what you don't want to do, realistically, is go and buy those components and put them into your PC. Especially if it's a new framework, or like a new generation, or a new socket for a motherboard, for example, that's needed for the processor, and then you can't upgrade it, and then you're stuck. And you have to buy everything brand new and build a whole new PC. Now, if you look at it down the timeline, you look at the graphics cards that have been out just from Nvidia at the moment. You know, let's take AMD out of the equation at the moment. Let's look at the most powerful graphics cards that are out there right now, which is Nvidia. And the 4090, for example, is the newest one out now. Let's have a look at the timeline from 2020 to now and see how many cards have came out, what generations have came out, and what different series it's gone through. And you'll get a good idea of exactly how obsolete the consoles are right now. And I know I'm rambling, so, you know, I think I've got my point across anyway. I want to say thank you for watching my video. Get down in the comments, give me your opinion on this. Let me know if you've bought into consoles, whether you actually think it's a good idea to buy the refresh 4 years through a release cycle. That was my phone. Ignore that. And of course, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching my video. I've been liking, and I will see you in the next one. I did a weird inflection thing again. I did that in my last video.